Never felt a high like that and then a low like that in 15 minutes. If something is good, it will be sent back to the drawing board.
How fun it was inside. Absolutely loved being here as many days as possible, as many hours as possible. I'm always so sad and heartbroken when I'm not able to stop here at least one time a day. So for that reason, along with the masjid being right over here, and then just, we imagine this entire street and this entire block to have more and more Muslim-owned businesses. So the vision is to be able to bring our office here as well and to have kind of like a home base where we could lock in and have meetings and calls and things like that. That's a little more challenging to do over here. So we're gonna go visit one spot.
Walking distance needs to be a thing, otherwise.
Right over here.
If you're 3 minutes away, there's no point. Now you got to get back in your car. Now you got to move your car. You can't walk to the restaurant.
Park once.
Park once. And
now you're a little pocket.
Yeah. Now you're here. You're at work. You're at day one.
So yeah, we're just gonna explore it, check it out, shoot some content. Ahmed see it, and then see is this something we want to do or not.
There's a unit really, really close by that we had our hearts set on, and unfortunately the deal fell through, but we trust in God's timing, and Akram's been on the lookout since then, so hopefully we find something that aligns with the size of the team, the proximity, and everything like that, and I think I'm optimistic.
Cool.
Exciting, yeah. But just like
Ours is so big.
It's just like this nice cozy pocket over there. If we were to think, because let me show you. But yeah, this is gorgeous. Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah, I like that it's dark. It's moody. It really feels like it has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? It feels like we got transported. That's how good they did on the inside and how funny the outside is. The other thing is that I think our vision is set anyways on leaving the current one, not being in a purchase. You get what I mean? So it's like that whole vision is all there. It's not like we're still wondering if that's the right move, still wondering if the team's going to grow, still wondering if we need a big office. So that makes it, we'll make some istikhara and see how the conversation unfolds. 70-80% of the calendar is kind of the same year over year. Like there's really no reason that anything should surprise us. Summer shouldn't surprise us. Mother's Day shouldn't surprise us. Black Friday. We already know the 2027 and 2028 dates. It's just a matter of putting it there, being accountable to it, understanding when we need to work on certain things, and then the details in terms of how long are we doing the sale, when are we doing flash promos, how many drops are we doing. That's sort of the variable year over year. With that being said, as I hold myself to a higher standard, it'll definitely be said across the team, to also apply to everybody in our department, right? What got us here will not get us to what's next. So the way we work, the way we manage our time, the way we delegate, the standards we expect from ourselves, if something is good, it will be sent back to the drawing board because we can't do good anymore, right? Companies with 3-4 people on the team, they can do good. And those are the people coming after us. Those are the small brands that are really nimble. Those are the brands doing maybe 1 or 2 million a year but are trying to figure out how to innovate and how to take market share from brands like us. They can do good. We have to do excellent. From influencers to getting content done on time, to our e-com, to the way we script, to our music choice, to our captions, to our stories, our graphics, our ads. There's no reason we should ever fall short of excellent at this point. And if you ever feel like I am falling short of excellent, me or about yourself, let's have that conversation. That's exactly what this meeting every single week is supposed to be about, right? Super cryptic about it. We start almost on the cake and then right up to the necklace and then pan all the way back. And so I think that's going to be really cool, and that'll pair really well with the very soft, ethereal garden, picking flowers, laying down with the fruits. I'm kind of envisioning we should do a bunch of summer activities in that shoot. Danny, if you go back to your photo mood board, I'm imagining someone eating an apple, but the apple is facing them and then the necklace is hanging between their fingers like this while they're holding the apple. And they're eating the apple and the necklace is just dangling, and then someone's picking flowers, but they're only picking the flowers that have a necklace dangling from it. And so this is you're doing what you typically do in summer, but we're interjecting something that shouldn't be there, right? And I think that's why we love these whole tables in the water, white chair on the beach, things that should not be there are there. And so I think that's how we take like that bottom right image as inspo, but it's like, okay, so if we turn that into video, she can't just sit there fiddling with the apples. What would we typically do with an apple? Eat it. Right, eat the apple, and there's a necklace, hanging from it and stuff. So I think like cutting from person to person with really soft music, like birds chirping, sunlight, and it's just cutting from person to person, doing something very summery. But the necklaces are just in every shot in a weird way. They're not wearing it. We're not trying to be subtle. They're like draping from the flowers. They're draping from the fruits. Maybe we have a picture of lemonade, and the necklace is draping out of the jar of lemonade, right? And so it's like these things are just everywhere, and I think that would be such a cool way to introduce the whole collection. And really, like, I like the word whimsical. Like, this is really our first colorful entry, into jewelry. That's what I'm so excited about, like, in terms of really coming back and committing to being more of a creative partner with you guys, is helping bringing these ideas constantly from evolution to evolution until we really feel like we've gotten to the final draft, and we're like, okay, now we're ready to shoot. By the time it launches, the first launch is about 5.5 months, right? And it's also like one of the most different. Like, it's not just, again, South Asian, Levantine, more engravings and affirmations. Like, we've run that course and we have tons of that stuff coming as well, but this is truly like a different turn. And I'm really excited to show, people, especially from a video standpoint, what we can do. And with that being said, I really, really want all of us to go like heavily into a video first mentality, because photo, like we've got it covered so much to the extent where it's kind of business as usual. Like we booked a photographer, we have the visual mood board, and we're done. Video, excuse my language, is a bitch, right? Like, it is so hard to pick the frames and the music and the lighting and people move, like motion and just feeling. Like, there's so much that you have to evoke in a video that you can't mess up on. You have to capture people's attention. You have to keep the camera moving. You don't want any harsh cuts. You want background characters and stuff like that. So that's where our effort needs to go. Yeah, that's perfect. And then I would just move the two words away from each other. Like, say it with flowers can go up. Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. Yep. Love it. Yeah, so I think we have kind of two legs of a similar approach when it comes to influencer marketing. The first one is the paid ad side, which is getting UGC creators, giving them feedback, working with Malby and Kevin to understand which of those are winners, incentivizing the influencers, showing them which ones are winning so that they can do more of those things, and so on and so forth. So that entire engine is like the paid ad side of things. Which is sort of like one of your many responsibilities. And then you have the influencer side of things, which is the gifting, the cards, the notes, getting tagged on social media. Because sometimes you might be in a position where the metrics will take care of themselves as long as you keep doing what you're doing. So some people are comfortable keep doing what they're doing while adding one more thing, right? So if you feel like you get to that point, which I don't think we're at right now, I think right now the influencers and the paid ads kind of deserve their own focus, because we still don't have a system, right? Like, we're still trying to figure out the data, the refunnel stuff. We're still trying to learn the winners from Malby. We're trying to communicate better feedback to the creators and so on and so forth. So the system doesn't exist. But let's say we fast forward 4 to 6 months and the system is there. Now it's easy. The second a creator is on their 10th, 15th video, we either cut them, promote them, or keep them. And then on the influencer side, it's easy. We know the collection is coming. We got the packaging. We got the handwritten note that's supposed to go in it. We sent it to YNK. The refunnel link went out. Like, okay, things are kind of firing on their own. Even if the metrics are not going great, at least the system exists. It's not demanding as much work anymore. Now we can add one more thing, whether that's website or product or project management or like whatever it is that you kind of want to add. So if there's at any point where you're like either struggling with metrics or struggling with the amount of responsibilities, or you want to take something on, or you want to know how to get better, that's exactly what I'm here for. So definitely keep that conversation open. Beautiful, beautiful. Of course. Thank you, Sophie. Appreciate you. Bye. If having a counter to put it down, assembling something for someone. I'm kind of envisioning someone coming to the store on their way to like a dinner or graduation, and you almost needing to help them assemble it before, and then that way they can walk out with the final box in hand. And so yeah, definitely, regardless of whether we go the mobile transaction route or not, there definitely needs to be a touchdown area that feels curated for it, not just like we found a table where we can do it. It's almost like a station where we have our gift wrap, we have options, you can add stickers of your choice, we have crinkle, you have ribbon color options maybe down the line and stuff like that, and that all kind of needs a very intentional home. So I think that's a great area to do it. I'm curious if, like, I know that in option 2, that POS, island currently is not necessarily just POS, but like, would you imagine
Because I'm trying to think, if that is a register, do the employees have their backs to veiled? And if they don't, and if their faces are to veiled, then does it seem like I'm not sure if I've ever walked into a store at the cash register, like except for like a gym front desk or like a restaurant hostess. So I think like I just can't, even if it was just a gift touchdown area, I can't imagine the first thing I see at a brand being what is supposed to feel like the final step of the process. My immediate comment is on the top right Arabic aspect. Even if it's not Quran, I just immediately envisioned so many phrases and like poetic verses that we've used, whether in products or otherwise, like the piercing studio having like an Arabic thing on the top to like welcome people into that room, or like the Mahmoud Darwish quote of what makes you different makes you beautiful, and kind of being able to like adorn the place and different sections of the place with these things. And it's like subtle enough where if you don't know what it says, then you don't know what it says. It's all good. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to translate it and put it on a plaque every single time you get to a different product category, but I think it'd be so powerful, especially from a content perspective, to teach people. And when you get to this section, the Arabic calligraphy on the wall says this. When you open the door for the piercing studio, there's an ayah from the Quran, or maybe a hadith about beauty or adornment or taking care of yourself, or, you know, whatever it is. Or there's a poem, you know, motivating you to start with the beauty inward and then outward and stuff like that. So I really like that concept of embedding like a story and ought-to-be into like what part of the story you're currently experiencing. Even talking about ihsan, maybe at the gifting station, we talk about why we do things with ihsan, why we're going to spend so much time packing your gift. I think that's such a cool detail that I've not really seen anywhere else, so that's awesome. I don't mind whichever format, but yeah, I'd love to just see something that you filmed and edited, where you're like, you can trust, end to end, you can trust me. That's my work right there. It did well. I'm really proud of that. I'll do it again and again. That's my life. Like that. I just want to see your pride. You know what I mean? Like, so. And direction is important. Like for us, it's something that, you know, we're also trying to strengthen as leaders. We're trying to clarify, because unspoken expectations can also create resentment, where you're thinking these things and you don't know how to verbalize them. You don't know how to make it very clear. I want 3 of these. I need 6 of these. I'm talking about a 40-second video, not an 8-second video, and really just giving clear direction. But at the same time, like creativity, we are human beings. I also don't want to feel like I'm just talking to someone who considers themselves like, I'm just the executor. I just know how to do it. But I would, you know, I don't know how to come up with the ideas. I don't know how to look for inspo. I don't have any like opinions of my own. And it's like, there's a balance in terms of giving direction, but also expecting creativity. And because, yeah, like if me and Danya had the creative juices already to be able to create the TikTok, it would already exist, and then this role wouldn't exist. You know what I mean? And it's like, so we'll definitely, you know, do our best as leaders to make sure that we're giving the direction. And then what we expect is like that creative independence of someone who really comes in with ideas and execution, to the extent where you're just like, we're left to be like, amazing. We would have never thought of this. Thank God we hired this person. Thank God we dedicated someone specific to this. Whereas the opposite, where we're just verbalizing ideas and direction constantly, and then they exist, it almost like, okay, I mean, that was my idea and I'm the one that laid everything out, but I'm glad someone did it, right? And it's like now the employee is like, I don't really feel proud because that I just did what you told me to do. And then the employer feels like, I'm also not proud. All you did was you did what I told you to do. And so we really want to enable like that creative autonomy, right? Like we want you to take that risk and go for it and be like, hey, like I'm just a heads up, this is about to be a left turn in what I'm about to do. Here's why I think it's going to work. I'm putting my name on it. I'm gambling on it. I think this next week of content and this format's going to work. If you trust me and I have your approval and I can spend this budget and spend this amount of time on editing and so on and so forth, I'm going to go for the fences. And if this works, then, you know, this is going to be really fun. And if it doesn't, we'll have a sit down meeting. We'll talk about, you know, what worked and what didn't, and we'll pivot. So it's a really, really important balance for sure to take direction well, but also come in with that independence and that creativity, because that's exactly what we're looking for, you know, because we are creatives. We love storytelling. We love culture. We follow so many Instagram pages that are not even businesses. They're just kind of like those cultural magazine kind of curation, you know, pages where it's like the art of a majlisa, and it's just like 90,000 likes, and it's just a carousel of like different ways you can sit on the floor, from Yemen to Masr to Palestine, and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing, we need to do something like this. And you're like, but what do we have to do with a majlisa? But it's like, also same idea is like, but that's our culture, right? Like that's like, we should do that, but like, how does Nominal do that, right? So it's like not getting carried away in terms of like, this story is sick, and as a creative I'm inspired. It's like, okay, but you're also responsible for the success of the business. Awesome. Of course. Thank you, ladies. Have a good one.